Hey. Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a today's topic video that is going to be scheduled for the 7th of July, so 7/7. In this series of reads, if you guys want to enter to win a free read with me by writing the word compassion in the comment section, being a subscriber to the channel, and giving this video a thumbs up, those three things combined gets you entered to win. And I do choose one subscriber each 7 days to get a free read with me. It's never done on the same day. It's always kind of different. It's whenever I have time. Stick around to the end because I will be doing that free read for somebody this week. All right, so we've got an 8 of Wands, got a Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is something that's slow moving, but the 8 of Wands is rapid incoming communication. But what I'm thinking this is somebody feels joyful, almost like a little boy, just like, oh my gosh, I'm free. I'm out for recess, or school is out, and they're like racing across this field. They're very excited. They can now take action, even if the action that they get to take still requires a step-by-step process. The bottom line is somebody got the green light to go ahead and start genuinely moving forward in life. This is like, it's like recess has come, but you still have to walk as you get through the hall before you get out the gates of the school. It's something along those lines. I'm not saying this is somebody getting out of school. I'm thinking this is probably something much more, I'm going to say life altering, something much more mature. This could be someone finally can sell their house. Someone finally can do these things that they've needed to for a period of time, but things were held up for a while. Now, it could also be incoming communication. Somebody knows they can finally communicate. Wow. Hold on. We've got a Tower combined with the Moon, combined with a Queen of Wands. And the Tower is literally falling down, and all the secrets can finally be revealed to a Queen of Wands. So this is actually someone who's going to be able to perhaps like whatever, if there had been like a gag order or something that has been removed. And so now at long last, all kinds of truths can finally be spoken to a Queen of Wands. So the 8 of Wands can be communication, not necessarily action. And this is starting to look like it is communication. Somebody finally gets to speak about something that had been hidden for a very long time. We need to look at what the Tower was first, because the Tower is falling for a reason, right? So whatever blockage, whatever, like I say, I don't know if it was a gag order or something, but it was something that kept everything cloaked in secrecy, and that has finally fallen away. So this is kind of an intriguing story, isn't it? I think we're going to go with an abstract deck. Tell me what I can see about that Tower. Give it a whirl. I think whatever this person has to explain might be something that it's going to be like kind of crazy to have to try to explain. It could be something that would make somebody's head spin, make their eyes roll and be like, yeah, that sounds pretty fanciful. That sounds pretty far-fetched. I think that they are realizing they can finally go ahead and start to explain things, but holy smokes, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, let's go with a deck that might give us some more impact on what this whole thing is about. It's 2 of Cups. So first off, these two are toasting with a dragon like floating above them. And dragons for me always represent dreams. This person, whatever this is that they're going to be describing, it's going to be tough, but they're going to lead with some kind of like, okay, I want to sit down to where our knees are almost touching. We want to have this conversation where we're going to be able to discuss, like, this is a really important and profound emotional bond. This is my wish come true. This is my dream, that we would finally be able to sit down and do this, sit down and have this conversation. But the tale I've got to tell is really, really big. The tale that I have to explain. I'm going to give this a whirl. I'm finally going to be able to say everything. But let me lead with, I really, really, really feel a bond. I really, really care. Okay, so we've got the High Priestess that is in the reverse here, which to me is saying, okay, well, part of what they're going to be saying is not going to be much of a mystery at all. It's almost like no matter how fanciful this is, the other person already basically knew. They knew that there was some kind of, like, their intuition told them that there was a lot more going on. This was never something simple. Whatever this big blockage was, I still don't see my original question being answered, though. I said, what is it that's finally, like, what is the gag order that's being lifted? What is that tower falling representing? So we still aren't exactly getting an image here, but please remember these are fictional stories, okay? What we have is, if this person is going to be able to say, okay, listen, I need to tell you, like, I have a really profound bond. I've wanted to tell you this for a long time. There has always been this blockage. There were things I couldn't discuss before now. It's like the recipient of this information, the Queen of Wands, is like, okay, I always knew that there was some holdup. So now as I start to describe what the holdup was, we had possibly an individual that caused a lot of difficulties, a lot of grief. This could have been some wayward family member that got themselves in trouble. They have these cobra tattoos above their pecs here. We've got all kinds of, like, this is a very toxic person because there's little poison bottles all over the place. Instead of this just being a traditional 5 of cups, this is like whatever, like, again and again and again, there was some kind of toxic individual that possibly was, like, involved in things that were difficult. You notice how we have, like, a building that's broken down, like property destruction or something like that. And it just seems as if a character was embroiled in some kind of high drama. There could have been a huge loss since this person doesn't even have a shirt on. They might have been trying to either assist someone or assist in solving some kind of mysterious, like, wait a second, what happened here? How did this go on? How did this toxic behavior occur? It almost seems like our character was somehow embroiled in dealing with a really messy situation. Now, maybe this was them. Maybe they made some real poor choices. Whatever this was, it was like etched on this person. Whether it was them who had been making some really poor choices and they were really toxic and they kept, metaphorically, like, damaging their own life. The property damage is like representing, like, I damaged my own life through my whatever it was, my addictions, my bad behaviors. I lost everything. I lost my shirt. I lost my home. I lost everything. I lost every single thing that I had. I had no money. I had no nothing for a period of time. And even though I felt bonded to you or loved you, I had crashed and burned my own life down to the ground for a little bit. Now, why they wouldn't have been able to express that, why that would have been a blockage that finally they're able to talk about this, might have just been the tower can be ego. So maybe somebody just didn't want to express that, or, so they put their own gag order on themselves. Tell me about the moon a little bit more, though, because I've been talking about the tower so far. Tell me about the moon. What is it that they really, what's the bigger reveal here? The Knight of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody saying, I wasn't running around trying to cheat. I wasn't running around trying to find other people. Are you kidding me? I was, heck, maybe I was paying a debt to society. Maybe I've been busy all this time, like, literally trying to piece together the burned down ashes of the life that I kind of deconstructed because of some poor choices I made. So I was not out trying to get with somebody else. One of the big reveals with the moon here is they're finally going to be able to clarify and say, I wasn't out running around trying to get with somebody else. Kidding? I didn't have any way to get with anybody, period. I was a train wreck, my situation was a train wreck. I haven't been talking to anybody, is what this actually says. Tell me a little bit more about that. You know, we got a King of Cups. I don't know if someone came along and helped them. This is like some kind of almost divine intervention, or if they're saying I wasn't out trying to get with anybody else, I actually found something. It's like they're saying I found you, and that actually gave me a purpose to like get my life on track. Again, it was my life was pretty much in shambles at one point in time. So to get things on track, that took some serious effort. But a King of Cups here, they are emotional. They choose to go ahead and work on things. They choose to go ahead and take charge of things, to take, charge of their emotions, or their emotions can be where their strength actually is. They do have these two electric eels kind of swarming around them. And I'm just wondering if that's representing like they had like some electrical like connection, an energetic connection that helped them to vibe in a better energy for a while. This is what their big reveal is. It may be that you kind of gave me purpose, you gave me something to focus on, and I started to actually to make some corrections in my life. I went from kind of maybe they were kind of lost, or it was some pretty ugly situation that they were in for a while. This card says a lot. This is somebody they kind of hit rock bottom, whomever this is. And again, that could have been an ego that hit rock bottom when they looked at how messy their life was, and then they could not even bring themselves to explain, like, doesn't matter how much I love you, there's no way I can possibly be in a relationship with you when my life is such a train wreck. My ego won't allow me to communicate it. So all I could do was instead decide that I wanted to pull myself up out of that slump, and then finally be able to come back in as somebody who's more solid. I mean, those are the cards that we've got. We don't have bad cards here. I can only tell the story that we see, right? What we see is definitely somebody they're going to give it a whirl to communicate all of this. But we need a little bit more investigation on that Five of Cups card, I think, before I move on to the Queen of Wands. Five of Cups. So we had the Sun, and this Sun card is like, I would just say that if somebody was so toxic for a while, they might have actually thought that this kind of behavior was the way they had always lived. They were, until somebody gets tired of what they're doing, they're going to do the thing that they imagine is making them happy. Even if it was super toxic, it was like, well, that was my high. That was what I thought was a good time, or that's what I thought was a good life. And I wonder if they didn't even realize what a mess they were in for a while. It kind of maybe even hit them pretty hard that, wow. Wow, as I say that, we just got the Nine of Swords, and this is a very ugly Nine of Swords and a Ten of Cups in the reverse. It's like whatever lifestyle they were living, it suddenly struck them. They thought they were happy. They thought they were good. They thought that some toxic lifestyle was fine. And then they meet someone that they actually realize they care about, and maybe who cared about them with that Queen of Wands. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, now I'm super stressed out. This isn't a good life. This isn't what I want. Now what I see is, as long as I live this lifestyle, I can't possibly have a Ten of Cups, because that Ten of Cups is in the reverse. It stressed them out in a really big way to realize that the lifestyle that they were living would never permit them to actually have this Ten of Cups, this Two of Cups kind of union. So whatever they thought was, hey, this is normal, this is cool, this is good, I can live this lifestyle, I can, this, whatever this character was involved in, again, what we saw was, a Five of Cups, lots of little poison bottles, and just kind of a devil may care attitude, and just kind of like a destructive path, right? Everything in their life was destructive. One poor choice after another. But whatever they were doing might have actually been fun for a while, a destructive lifestyle that they thought was a good time, until they meet something that they realize they actually want something else. Or maybe they finally realize I'm miserable. I thought I was happy and I'm miserable, more miserable now than ever because I just met somebody that I think I would want to share a life with. And there's no way I can bring my mess and lay it at their doorstep. Now I'm super stressed saying, oh my God, I didn't know that there was actually a 10 of cups out there for me. And now I see I can't have it. So no wonder they had to actually start working on things. But we've had a couple of stories lately that have been really, really soft and really sweet, where it's like, it's I've said it before, like in the last 2 weeks, it's like the power of love kind of saved somebody, like seeing something that they actually wanted, someone that they cared about, had the power to motivate them to make changes. They didn't do it while they were with this queen. They did it separately, but it was because of like feeling like an emotion that they wanted to pursue. And that's why they are making these kind of healthier choices for themselves. I do feel like there was something kind of electric about this. Tell me about the Queen of Wands here. They're saying this to the Queen of Wands and she's in the upright. So this is really nice. We have, well, it's nice and it's also messy because we got 2 7s here, which by the way, remember this is a 7-7 storytelling, but this is our Chariot card. And then we have a 7 of Swords. And in this case, she could have a very beautiful voice or something, by the way, just because we've got somebody who's like, a disc jockey or something playing music here. And in this case, instead of him being behind a chariot, they're using music to propel them forward. Someone could be quite poetic, or the way, so the chariot is always about emotional balance and about moving forward. I'm wondering if when we talk about that Queen of Wands, I don't know if there were words that she said that remind them of her or a song that reminds them of her, but there's something that I think they held on to. I want to say that it was some kind of a song that when they hear it, it calms them. You notice how they have the yin yang huge like necklace on. I'm thinking that there was something that when they would think of this or listen to this, it would remind them of her. And I think that this gave them some kind of like an inner compass. Even though it might also have simultaneously been the thing that made them run from her. So I don't know if there was some real sensitive like love song where they knew what direction they wanted to go. They knew that they wanted it to be her that they came toward, but it was also like maybe the words of a song or something filled them with like, this is the kind of love I want to share. This is the kind of, the way she makes me feel or the way it describes her. Right now, I'm thinking of that Paul Anka song, "My Woman, My Woman, My Wife." I don't read for genders, so this could be any gender, okay, or masculines, feminines, same sex, doesn't matter. But there's some song that it would remind them, I think, of her. But at the same time, that was also the thing where they're like, "Geez," and this song, I can't be any of those things in that song, or I'm not there yet, and I need to stay away until I can be those things, until I can actually move forward, until I can actually be at peace and at harmony and be in this kind of a connection with her. I feel like this is a lot to try to explain to her and about her, about the way they feel about her. It's very poetic. I've never had a message quite like that. It's actually very sweet and very soft. Let me get one more card. I want to not make this too long. I want to wrap this one up here because it's already kind of a gentle thing. This is like the two of them just have to work through this at this point. But we do have a King of Pentacles here, and it's in the reverse. And we also have a 5 of Pentacles. This person wants to come in out of the cold. Maybe she doesn't expect this from them. Maybe she can't even comprehend that this would be the way they would behave. But at this point, this is their offer to her. This is the way they are explaining everything. And that's what this entire story has simply been. It's not her reaction. It's just them finally being able to come forward and say, I know I didn't have much to offer now, but boy, I'm done being out in the cold at this point. It's kind of like, can I come home is what I want to say. This person is a King of Cups now. Doesn't matter who they were before when they didn't have much to offer. This is who they are now. So I don't know. I'm going to leave this here and just say that's very sweet. Guys, the free reading for the winner this week is Lotta Asen. And so Lotta, the free reading, I'll put the in the description box. There will be a link there, a free link where you can go and watch that storytelling. Anybody can watch it. It's available for anyone to see. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much for choosing to visit my channel. And I'll see you guys again in the next one. Bye for now.